So if you're a fan of Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption 2, or Red Dead Online, you're no doubt familiar with the way that Rockstar handles information, which is basically they keep it all very close to the chest, and then they drop it whenever they feel like it, with no real bearings for, whether or not people had hype for it or whatever. They just kind of do whatever they want, and it works pretty well for them. Now, I found something that will definitely classify as a rumor mill, but I think it's really cool, and I wanted to share it here on the off chance it becomes something, more pertinent to what we're doing here on the channel, which is Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online. You'll see why I'm being so cryptic and weird about it in a second, but just to give an overarching view, Rockstar typically doesn't show up at E3, and when they do, it's through other mediaries, right? And Rockstar actually has been to E3 multiple times in the past, one of which, most notably, they did something with Microsoft where they announced GTA 4, which was actually really cool, and if I can remember to, I'll leave a link down to that E3 spot. And they actually had who I think was the then CEO of Xbox, or the guy who was in charge of Xbox, whatever his title is. I think he was the one doing the press show, and he has like tattoos of, he's got like a Halo 2 tattoo on one bicep, and then it says Grand Theft Auto 4 on the other bicep. It's hilarious. But regardless, this was at Microsoft's demo, and you'll see why that's interesting in a second. So the main piece of news here, the thing I probably teased in the title, is that Arthur Morgan, Roger Clark, the voice actor, or I guess voice actor is not the correct term, performance capture artist for Red Dead Redemption 2's Arthur Morgan, is going to be attending E3, and he posted this like 9 hours ago as I'm recording this on Twitter, and he said, "Looks like I'm going to E3. What are all of you most excited about this year? E3 2019, RDR2, Arthur Morgan." So I looked through his entire Twitter profile, and he's never mentioned E3 before, but he does seem to be a somewhat avid gamer, but only it looks like with this new school of games. And that's not me trying to project onto Roger's life, that's just from what I saw on his Twitter. He very well might be very into things that the man does not tweet about, which is, perfectly normal. But from what I've seen him publicly talk about, there is no mention of E3 previously, and there is no mention of pretty much any video game conference stuff that I could find, or this little press tour he's on right now, where he's gone to all of the Comic-Cons, and this last stop here at E3. I don't know if E3 is going to be the last stop, but what I think is really interesting is his replies to this. Now speaking of replies, there is one I want to highlight from Ned Luke, and if you're not familiar, Ned Luke played Michael DeSanta in GTA 5, and he says, "Can you get some insight on the Mount Chiliad mystery for me? I'm dying to get it solved." And I thought that was really funny, but regardless. And somebody actually replied to Roger's tweet asking him what he is most excited for, and his response was that he was also excited for Cyberpunk, whatever Warner Brothers had in store, and he wondered what Microsoft may tease for their next gen plans. And then it says ... And I wonder, I don't want to tease and say that like they're officially going to launch anything. Rockstar's definitely going to be at E3, because they very well might not be. But it is interesting that he hashtagged this Arthur Morgan. I mean, I know he plays Arthur Morgan, but still, bear with me. Like, E3 is a developer's showcase. This isn't something where celebrities go to shake hands. So it is a little interesting that Arthur would choose to go. And then additionally, on top of that, Rockstar does stuff with Microsoft. Like, they literally announced one of their flagship games through the Microsoft showcase, and then we have the lead actor from the game that there is rumor mill about story DLC, and there's huge content beats that are supposed to be coming for the online mode, and he's going to E3 now talking about Microsoft's next gen plans. And I know Legacy Killers HD put out a video and was like, added Roger Clark, and then Roger was like, trust that Rockstar will make their announcements and I will make mine. So I don't want to say that this is a thing. However, I do think it's really cool, and I wanted to show this to you guys. Like I said, I don't want to say that this is 100% anything, because there just doesn't seem to be enough evidence here for me to tell you that, oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be single player DLC announced at E3 by Rockstar. Like, there's definitely not any of that. This definitely might be somebody who's enjoying his hard work being thoroughly paid off in the form of being an excellent lead in Red Dead Redemption 2, and he wants to go to E3, where the video game community is going to be, because, I mean, he's a big member of that community now, so that could very well be his plan here. And for those wondering, the reason I'm being so on the middle here, or trying to be at least, is I just don't want to give the impression that I know something about Roger Clark's life, and I don't want Roger, if he winds up seeing this, to feel like I was making statements about him that were unjustified. But I did just want to show this to you guys, because as Red Dead fans, this seems like there might be something going on. I don't know. I'm hyped, and regardless of whether or not it is something Red Dead related, I am excited to see what Roger does at E3 as well. So, but anyway, thank you guys for for tuning in. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, drop me a like down in the comment section down below. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing. I do a ton of Red Dead Redemption 2 online and offline content, and also I wanted to say, if you're on the fence about subscribing, feel free to just watch a few more videos. I guarantee you there's a lot of content on the channel that'll vibe with whatever you're doing, whether that's, you know, you want content to kind of play along with, or you want like short informational, like here's this, here's that. All that kind of stuff exists on this channel. So this is really like a one-stop catch-all for Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online. So with that out of the way, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys very, very soon with a brand new Red Dead Online video. Peace.